Spooky, scary games are not my typical style. However, The Inner Friend isn't actually one of those horror games. It doesn't have the jump scares, it doesn't have the pieces of paper scattered around the level that you have to find, and it doesn't have one of those tiny ass flashlight beams where you can't see anything and the batteries die in 15 seconds. But what it does have is an atmosphere. It's much more moody, and it does have different kinds of puzzles to keep things interesting. I'm surprised how much I like this game.
The game starts off at maximum weird and doesn't let up the entire time. At first glance, it all appears random, but it's not. Each area you go to has a theme related to a memory, and more importantly, a fear. It's not directly stated which fear, but you can make some pretty good assumptions what's going on. It's what I like most about Inner Friend, how little is stated. The game just lets you interact with it. It has minimal prompts and is more interested in giving you a unique experience than trying to scare the crap out of you. It's mostly about getting through each stage and helping yourself overcome the fear. Sometimes you'll be moving books to block lasers, and other times you'll be running away from a terrible creature with scissors. There are associated objects throughout the levels that you can pick up. Most of them are hidden throughout. There's no real reward for picking them up. You can spot them as you check each crevice of a level, but it's much easier to listen for them. The sound not only gets louder as you get closer, but it's directional too, so they're pretty easy to find. Maybe I'm giving the game more credit than it deserves, but I think it's clever they are forcing me to listen closely, which keeps my focus. The Inner Friend is such a clean design because it's so simple. With only 2 buttons to worry about, jump and interact, it's very basic. This includes the puzzles. Do not expect to be stumped as to what to do. Failure is very forgiving, and the game will even save your spot in the middle of a task. The most complicated it gets is activating electronics in a Simon Says game. But that's not the point. It's more about atmosphere than anything else, and it does get tense. I can't say I was scared at any point, but I was unnerved. The pace is good, and there are only a few moments where it drags. It's most noticeable in areas where there are fail states for getting caught. If you get caught too many times, it can just be tedious. It isn't too much of a problem. This is great since the game is 1.5 hours to 2 hours long. It's a good length. Keeping the pace it has any longer and it would have been tiring. In its current state, without more complicated puzzles to extend the game, the majority of the time you'll be running around. However, I didn't collect everything. If you did want to replay the levels to collect the objects you missed, then a level select opens up after completing the game. Inner Friend's experience could be extended, but after playing through the levels once, most of the charm is gone. I do not expect many people will be willing to replay the levels. Let's get a quick look at the settings. You got your graphics, you got display mode, there's borderless windowed in here if that's your thing. Display goes all the way up to this resolution, down to 768. That's really small though. There's also texture quality, although all of these go up to very high. High is the default, and I left it on that. The game looked pretty good with that, but that goes all the way down to low. Good to see shadow ones, because that's probably the biggest one that really affects people. Audio, very typical sound and music. Keyboard and mouse, all the keys are rebindable, and I think that's great, but on the controller, it's not rebindable, so beware. But you'll be playing with a mouse and keyboard. It's much better with this. Overall, I like The Inner Friend, but you have to ask yourself if you want something that is pretty close to being a walking simulator. Not that that's a bad thing, but maybe you don't want that. The puzzles are so simple, I don't think they add enough to get away from the warning I'm currently giving you. It's a decent, short experience. I found the themes throughout to be solid. The game is very strange and each level is unique. They did a great job playing with the theme and delivering a very atmospheric experience.
Hey, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more indie game reviews, and use the playlist next to my head to see some Steam hidden gems.